Thank you very much for taking time to be here today. How is everybody feeling today? Feeling good? Good, good. I am not. I am feeling nervous. I'm a little bit sweaty. I'm very flawed, right? Like most human beings. My mom thinks I'm great, which is nice to know. But this is interesting because it reflects AI, right? We've seen the amazing, powerful capabilities of generative AI this year. And, certainly a little bit last year as well. But we're seeing huge adoption of AI throughout. And I think it's very important for us to all realize, whilst it's amazing, there are some risks with adopting AI. So we're going to speak a little bit about that today. So I better introduce CalypsoAI, right? We're the trusted partner and industry leader in AI security. We believe in the immense potential of generative AI. We truly do. But like with any new technology, we have to embrace it carefully and responsibly. So we enable organizations to adopt generative AI safely and responsibly by providing security controls, oversight, and insight into how these models are being used. So every time I stand and move, I hear a creak. I don't know if it's my hips or the floor. One of the big questions we keep hearing is this a false dawn? Is this really happening? So let's look at a bit of information we have, right? McKinsey have predicted that 4.4 trillion, up to 4.4 trillion in economic value will be generated annually by generative AI. That's staggering. In a recent Gartner poll, 1 in 5 executives have said that they have a pilot or production project using generative AI right now today. 1 in 5, that's incredible. Up to 70% of those executives have research projects in progress around generative AI. So it's safe to say it's a topic in all boardrooms across enterprise. So whilst everyone's looking at the benefit, and rightly so, there's huge potential in all of this technology, it's important to also consider the risk. We shouldn't go blindly into this. Eyes wide open is the approach. So what are some of these risks? Data loss and compliance. Proprietary data leaving your organization is a huge concern. Whether you're using privately hosted LLMs or publicly hosted LLMs, this is a concern. Sensitive data with existing standards and regulation today. Everyone talks about AI regulation coming down the stream, but we have to be conscious of existing regulation. GDPR, HIPAA. Are our customers' data, our employees' data at risk here? Do we have sensitive information leaving our organization? We can't blindly answer yes or no. We have to put the steps in place, the process in place to make sure that we're protected in these scenarios. Trace and auditability. Transparency is key. If something goes wrong down the line with a technology like AI, it will happen at scale. After the fact, you need to be able to go back and see what happened, who was the person involved in this incident, and what information was disclosed potentially in a type of breach scenario. And that's where auditability comes back in. In proprietary and governance, every organization has safeguards, compliance standards set internally, making sure your employees adhere to those. That's key to adoption. That's the responsible part of this adoption. Monitoring and oversight. Day-to-day usage. What's the technology being used for? Is it being used to generate, funny avatars for our social media campaigns? Is it being used to settle a sport debate? Who had the record for the most runs in a season? When you're paying huge money for generative AI usage in your organization, it's important that it's used in an appropriate way. And then lastly, malicious code, right? We're seeing malicious imports coming in through code, through generative AI. And these things look innocuous, but they are not. So thankfully, as you might imagine, we have a solution for this. Otherwise, I'm kind of wasting my time up here. So let me please introduce CalypsoAI's moderator. So we discussed the problems. Moderator gives you full protection and responsible controls to use across your generative AI models. We provide solutions for data loss prevention, data quality verification, full auditability and accountability. That's really, really important. Jailbreak prevention. That's one of the biggest topics that people like to discuss. We treat that as a zero-day attack in normal security parlance. And it's all available in an easy-to-install, easy-to-use interface. It's also cross-platform, which is really helpful. We have a variety of scanners all built in-house. These scanners allow you to detect PII information bidirectionally, inbound and outbound, through various models. We have secret scanners. We detect up to 136 different types of secrets that may leave your organization. Source code scanners, across languages, detecting malicious imports. And legal content scanners. What type of legal documents? We've probably all seen that scenario. Please summarize this document. Or what does this document mean? And we're seeing people paste in entire legal documents, contracts, acquisition plans. It's incredible how the safeguards for humans are lowered when they're using a technology like a LLM. We also look at prompt injection scanners, toxicity. Are the technologies being used in a way that's not appropriate for your organization's values? And then some of the user insights are incredible. Demographic scanners, topic detection, what are people discussing? Sentiment, how does your company feel about how they're asking questions and what they're talking about? And then we also include named entity scanners. What are the types of things that people are using this model for? We support, we're language agnostic, model agnostic, which is very, very important. We believe that LLM usage will not be a single model. It'll be a multi-model world we live in. We'll have the legal team using models like Harvey. We'll have the finance team using models like Bloomberg. You'll certainly have a general model in there like ChatGPT or Cohere or AI21. Any of those use cases, private or public, you can leverage Moderator to safely allow your organization to use that. So, we truly believe AI is for everyone. But go in eyes wide open. When you're embracing a new technology, understand it will be fantastic, but it will have risks. Understand those risks. Don't wait. Get ahead of this and put security in place before the horse has bolted. Watch and understand how AI is being used and modify accordingly once you've put those controls in place. I'm going to leave you with a little bit of insight from the field. So when we speak to customers on a daily basis, we see three categories of AI integration to organizations. The first one, which is maybe the most publicized because it's a negative media story, right, is companies block LLM usage in their organization. They block it because they don't understand the risk yet. They block it because they see it being used heavily in their organizations through existing security products like their firewalls. And then what they do is they go and learn. They've blocked it. We're now quote unquote safe. Let's go learn about LLMs. Let's understand how our organization wants to use them. The second category are proactive users. They put policies in place, funding, allocate resources to do research. And these are the ones that are the 1 in 5 from the Gartner study. They have put these projects in place in pilot or production phase, and they're embracing AI in a really responsible manner. And then lastly, and I struggle to come up with a name for this category, so apologies, I'm not a marketing aficionado, but we call them accidental adopters, right? So this is a bottom-up approach. Companies all over the world are seeing spikes in usage of LLM happening from the bottom up. Employees have decided to use AI in their day-to-day jobs and in novel ways. And companies are slow to wake up and understand that this could constitute a risk. So they're now backing into the solution and trying to put security in place after the horse is bolted. So just to wrap up, thank you very much. You've made it very enjoyable for me to be here. My blood pressure's gone down a couple of points. Please visit us at booth 617. And this isn't clickbait. We can show you the product in action today. So looking forward to seeing you later today. Thank you very much.